Hi everybody, my name is Tajan. I'm the founder of Tajan Renderos Coaching, and today I'm going to talk about hope versus optimism in tracking your purpose. So lately I've been spending a lot of time at the AstraZeneca Hope Lodge, which is a place for cancer patients who are going through chemotherapy and radiation to live while they're in the midst of going through treatment. So it's supposed to be a home away from home, and it really is that. What struck me about the Hope Lodge is the name of it, which I think is really cool. The fact that they call it the Hope Lodge got me to thinking about, well, what really is hope, and how is hope different from being optimistic? Because oftentimes you hear people say, I'm really optimistic about this, or I'm really hopeful about this. Well, what is the difference? I want to highlight the difference today because I think the difference really matters. So when I'm feeling optimistic about something, that means that I feel very positive about achieving a very specific outcome. And that very specific outcome is what I define as being successful. Versus being hopeful, when I'm feeling hopeful about something, that basically means that I'm resting in the knowing that whatever the outcome may be, I can still say that it has been for some good and that all will be well and that it is well with me. The difference in being hopeful and being optimistic about something is really profound, and it completely changes your orientation and how things feel when you're going about it. So for example, if I really want a particular outcome, then my feeling can be one of controlling, right? Where I'm feeling like, okay, I really need to land this job. I need to land it by this time and this date. I need to launch my business and it needs to turn a profit by this time and by this date. And I'm optimistic that I can do that. That's great. But that kind of optimism really is very contractive and it's very controlling, and it's a little bit dangerous, because if for some reason your timeline is off or things don't line up exactly as you want them to, then all of a sudden you can just say to yourself, well, I failed. And then you can take yourself out of the game. Whereas if you're hopeful about the fruits of your labor, you stay in the game, you remain faithful, you do your work, you work hard, you put everything you have into it, you invest a lot. But you surrender also. You surrender to the possibility that a desirable outcome may come in some way that you haven't conceived of. You surrender to that possibility that anything could happen, and that maybe if things don't turn out and line up exactly as you had thought they would line up, that things are still okay, that all will still be well, that something good still came from the process because you were in alignment with your spiritual path, you were in alignment with being faithful. So being hopeful is expansive in nature and changes the orientation from being really controlling and being really contracted and being really anxious to being really free and expansive and at ease. Now, what I want you to know is think about some piece of work in your life where you've invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of strength, working really hard for a particular outcome, whether that might be you've been putting a lot of effort into trying to launch your business, you've been putting a lot of effort into trying to land a new job, whatever that might be for you. Just think about that for a moment. And now think about that same situation, but apply the lens of being hopeful rather than being optimistic about a particular outcome. And think about how you feel, how that changes the dynamic of what it feels like to be doing that work. Does that feel easier for you? Do you feel more at ease? Does it feel like less drudgery? Do you feel a sense of freedom while doing that work, just because you're not holding such tight reins and so squarely focused on a particular outcome as being what it might be to be successful? Tell me how that feels. And what I want you to do is go ahead to tajanrenderos.com. That's TAJAN renderos.com, which is renderos.com, and leave me a comment there. Let me know what it is that you're working on, that you're investing so much time in, whether it's trying to land a job, trying to launch a business, whatever it is that you're putting in all your efforts in. And let me know how it feels to you when you apply the lens of being hopeful as opposed to being optimistic that a particular outcome will come about. Let me know how things change for you and how things shift for you in terms of how you feel about what you're doing. And when you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our mailing list. There are really cool giveaways and freebies and all kinds of content that I only really give to people who subscribe to our mailing list. So just don't forget to do that when you're over there on TarjanRenderos.com. And in the meantime, and until next time, take care. Bye.